Hello students, myself is Parminder Singh from Prab Kirpa classes. Our today's topic is volume of sphere, basic concept and formula. After going through this course, the students will understand that sphere is a three-dimensional object which is round and symmetrical, and any point on the surface of the sphere is at equal distance from the center. The students will also understand that hemisphere is only one part of the sphere. If we divide the sphere into two equal parts, then each part will be known as hemisphere. Hemisphere is only half of the sphere. The students will also understand that the sphere has only one face, that is curved surface, and the hemisphere has two faces. One is curved face and the other is flat face. The students will also understand that there are large number of examples of spheres in the real world, such as basketball, tennis ball, earth, moon. Though not properly spherical, they resemble a sphere. The other examples of spheres in the real world are the celestial objects and Mars, planet, etc. The students will also understand that the formula for calculation of surface area of sphere is 4 pi r square. The students will also understand that the formula for calculation of volume of sphere is 4 over 3 pi r cube. We will also use these formulas to calculate the volume of sphere as well as the surface of the sphere. We will understand with many examples. We will solve many examples so that the concept is very much. Now we will understand the meaning of sphere, and we will also discuss the properties of a sphere and the real world examples of sphere. We will then understand the formula for calculation of the surface area of sphere as well as the volume of the sphere. First of all, we will understand the definition of sphere. Sphere is a three-dimensional geometric object that is perfectly round and symmetrical. In this picture, you can see that it is perfectly round and it is symmetrical. The example of a sphere is basketball or tennis ball. We can visualize the three-dimensional nature of the sphere as it extends outward from the center and it fills the space in all directions. Though the sphere does not have three distinct dimensions such as length, width and height, yet it is called three-dimensional object. The distance between the center, this is the center point, and any point on the surface of the sphere, you can see that this is the outer points, these are the outer points. From this point to this point or this point to this point, the distance is the same, and this constant distance is known as radius of the sphere. This is the radius of the sphere. If we join this line to this point, this will be also known as radius of the sphere. Now the properties of a sphere. A sphere is symmetric with respect to its center. It means that any line passing through the center, suppose if a line is passing through here, it divides the sphere into two equal halves. You can see that if we cross a line through the center, it will divide this sphere into two equal halves. You can see here that this sphere has been divided into two equal halves, and any point on the surface of the sphere is equidistant from the center. A sphere has smooth, continuous surface with no edges or vertices. It means that it does not have such like pointy surface. Now the real world examples of sphere. You can see here that basketball as well as the tennis ball is the common example of a sphere. Sun and earth, though they are not a perfect sphere, their shape closely resembles a sphere. Planets like Mercury, Venus, Mars, as well as other celestial bodies such as moons, asteroids, often exhibit spherical shapes. Now we have understood what are the real world examples of sphere. Now we will understand the difference between hemisphere and sphere. A sphere is a three-dimensional geometric shape which is completely round with all the points on the surface of the sphere are at equal distance from the center. A sphere has only one face which is curved. You can see here that this face is curved. On the other hand, a hemisphere is half of a sphere. A sphere can be divided into two equal parts and each part is known as hemisphere. A hemisphere has two faces. One is this, other is this. This face is known as curved face. And this is known as flat face. The two shapes, that is the sphere as well as the hemisphere, are related to each other, but the hemisphere has a flat base whereas a sphere has no base. Now we will understand the formula for calculation of surface area of a sphere, because though we are doing the course on volume of a sphere, here in the coming time we will discuss the questions or do the examples which will also involve the surface area of sphere. So we will also understand the surface area of sphere. The surface area of the sphere is the total area covered by its curved surface. This is the curved surface, the total area covered. This is the surface area of sphere. The formula for calculation of the surface area of the sphere is 4 pi r square, where a represents the surface area of the sphere. Pi is a mathematical constant which is equal to 22/7 or 3.14159. In this formula, we have used r square, where r stands for radius of the sphere, which is the distance from its center to any point on the surface of the sphere. Now, volume of sphere. What is the meaning of volume of sphere? Volume of a sphere refers to the amount of space occupied by the sphere in three-dimensional space. In other words, this space which is occupied by the sphere is known as volume. It is a measure of the total quality or internal content of the sphere. In simple terms, we can say that volume of the surface, volume of the sphere tells us how much material or substance can fit inside the sphere. In other words, we can take the example that suppose there is a basketball. We make some small hole in it and put water in it, and we will then the volume will tell us how much amount of water will be there in the sphere shaped basketball. The volume of sphere. The formula for calculation of volume of sphere is 4/3 pi r cube, where V represents the volume of the sphere, Pi is a mathematical constant which is approximately equal to 3.14159, and R stands for radius of the sphere. We have given this formula. Now the question before us is, find the volume of a sphere whose radius is 7 centimeter. In this picture you can see here that this is a sphere and the radius has been given as 7 centimeter. We will do answer, solve this question. Radius given is 7 centimeter. Now the volume of sphere is equal to 4/3 pi r cube. So we will fill in the relevant values. 4/3 pi stands for 22/7. Now what is the value of r? It is 7. So we will write this here. R cube has been given. So we will write 7 3 times. So here we will cut 7 with 7. Now what is left is we will multiply 49 with 88. So here it will come 4312 divided by 3. So the answer before us is 1437.33 cubic centimeter. This is the answer of volume of sphere. Next is, find the volume of a sphere whose radius is 0.63 meter. So now what is given is radius is equal to 0.63 meter. Now what is the formula for calculation of volume of sphere? It is 4/3 pi r cube. 4/3 pi stands for 22/7. Now r is in cube, so we will write r 3 times. Value of r has been written 3 times. So 63/100, 63/100, 63/100. And when we solve all this, we will get 1.0478 or 1.05 cubic meter. This is the volume of sphere whose radius is 0.63 meter. Now the question before us is, find the amount of water displaced by a solid spherical ball of diameter 28 centimeter. You can see here that this is a spherical ball and it has diameter of 28 centimeter. The question says that suppose there is water and we put this spherical ball into the water. Now the question is that if we put this spherical ball into water, how much amount of water will be displaced by this spherical ball? So now what is given to us is, we have been given diameter. Diameter is equal to 28 centimeter. You can see here that this is diameter. From this, we know that from the center, this is known as radius, and this point and the distance between central point and any point on the surface of the sphere is equal. So this is also r, and from this point to this point, this is also r. In other words, d is equal to 2r, or we can say that radius is half of diameter. You can see in this picture also that radius is half of diameter. So what is the radius which comes out? It is 14 centimeter. Now what we have to calculate? We have to calculate amount of water displaced. When we put this spherical ball into water, then the amount of water displaced will be equal to the volume of spherical ball. Now what is the formula for calculation of volume of spherical ball? It is 4 over 3 pi r cube. Now we will put in the relevant values. 4 over 3, the value of pi is 22 over 7. Now what is the value of r? It is 14. As here it is written as r cube, so we will write the value of r 3 times. So what will come out? It will come out as 3496 over 3 is equal to 11498.66 cubic centimeter. Now this is the amount of water displaced, and this is the answer before you. Now the question before us is, find the amount of water displaced by a solid spherical ball of diameter 0.21 meter. Here you can see that this is a spherical ball and its diameter is 0.21 meter. Now the question is that if this is the water and the spherical ball has been put into it, how much water will be displaced by this spherical ball? So we will solve this question. So we have been given diameter as 0.21 meter. We know that radius is half of diameter. Diameter over 2. What is diameter? 0.21 over 2, or we can say that it is 21 over 100 into 2, or we can say that it is 21 over 200, or we can add 0 here also, and it will come as 105 over 1000, or we can write it as 0.105 meter. This is the radius. Now what is the question before us is amount of water displaced, which we have to calculate. Amount of water displaced by spherical ball. Now when we put this spherical ball into water, the amount of water displaced will be equal to the volume of the spherical ball. So here we write amount of water displaced is equal to volume of spherical ball. Now, what is the formula for calculation of volume of spherical ball? It is 4 over 3 pi r cube. We will put in the relevant values. Pi is a mathematical constant and is represented by 22 over 7. What is the value of r? It is 0.105. Here r cube is given, so we will write 0.105 three times. So when we solve it, it will come as 0.00485 cubic meter. This is the answer before you. Amount of water displaced by a solid spherical ball is this much. Now the question before us is, the diameter of a metallic ball is 4.2 centimeter. What is the mass of the ball if the density of the metal is 8.9 gram per cubic centimeter? We know that there is a relationship between mass, density and volume. Now what is that relation? That relation is that density is equal to mass divided by volume, and we have to calculate the mass. Now the mass is equal to density into volume. So to calculate the mass as per the requirement of the question, we will have to multiply density with volume. Now the density has been given in this question, so we will have to calculate volume. For that purpose, we will use first diameter. What is the diameter? It is 4.2 centimeter. What is the radius? As you know that radius is half of diameter. We will put in the relevant value. It will come as 2.1 centimeter. Now we will use the formula to calculate volume of metallic ball. Now what is the formula? It is 4 over 3 pi r cube. We will put in the relevant values. 4 over 3, pi stands for 22 over 7. Then we will put in the value of r. R is r cube. So 2.1 into 2.1 into 2.1. So when we solve it, it will come as 38.808 cubic centimeter. This will be the volume of metallic ball. Now what is we have to calculate? We have to calculate the mass. Mass is density multiplied by volume. Now we will put in the relevant values. What is density? It is 8.9. It will be multiplied with 38.808. Now what will be calculated? It will come as 345.3912 or 34.39 approximately. This value is in grams. So the answer is mass is equal to 345.39 gram. Now the question before us is, the diameter of the moon is approximately 1/4 of the diameter of the earth. What fraction of the volume of the earth is the volume of the moon? Suppose this is the moon and this is the earth. Now this is the diameter of the earth, which is d. We are supposing it as d. Now what is given in the question? The diameter of the moon is approximately 1/4. So here the diameter is d over 4. Here the diameter has been taken as d. Here the diameter of the moon will be d divided by 4. So we will start solving the question. Diameter of earth is equal to d. Let the diameter. Now in the same way, the diameter of moon will be 1/4 of the diameter of the earth. So it will be d divided by 4. Because the diameter of the earth as well as the diameter of the moon is known to us, we will calculate the radius. Radius of earth will be d over 2. So now the radius of moon will be, here the diameter of the moon is d divided by 4. D over 4 into 1 over 2. So it will come as d over 8. So here the radius of the earth is d divided by 2 and the radius of the moon is d divided by 8. Now what is given? We have to calculate is the fraction of volume of earth is volume of moon. It means that we have to calculate volume of moon divided by volume of earth. Now what is the formula for calculation of volume of a spherical object? It is 4 over 3 pi r cube. In the same way, 4 over 3 pi r cube. So now we will put in the relevant values. 4 over 3 pi. What is the value of r in case of moon? It is d8. d8 cube. What is the value of volume of earth? It is 4 over 3 pi. What is the value of r in case of moon? It is d8. It is d2. It is d3. d2 cube. So this will be cut with this. And what will be balance? d8 cube, d2 cube. So now we will solve it. It will come as d3 over 8 cube into 2 cube over d cube. Now this d cube and d cube will be cut and what will be balance? 2 into 2 into 2, 8 into 8 into 8. So now what will be? So it will become 1 over 64. So volume of moon over volume of earth is equal to 1 over 64. So this is the answer. This is the volume of moon. No, this is the proportionate figure. Now we have to calculate the volume of moon. Volume of moon is 164 volume of earth. This is the answer, because this was the volume of moon is, when the volume of moon is 1, the volume of earth is 64 times the volume of the moon. So this is the answer. The volume of moon is, if 1 divided by 64 volume of earth. Now the question before us is, find the volume of a sphere whose surface area is 154 square centimeter. So we will try to solve. Now what is given is surface area of sphere is equal to 154 square centimeter. We also know that the formula for calculation of surface area is 4 pi r square. This is the formula for calculation of surface area of sphere. It is equal to 154 square centimeter. So now we will put in the relevant values. It is a mathematical constant pi. It stands for 22 over 7. It is r square. It is radius. The radius is known, not known to us. It is this. So now what is r square? It will come as 154 into 7, 4 into 22. Now here we will cut 77, 7, 11 will be used to cut 77, at it will come as 7. Now what is balance is 77, 7 into 7, 49 over 4, and it will come as 12.25. Now what has come out? R square is 12.25. Now what is R? It is, now it will come as 3.5 centimeter. Now the value of radius has been calculated. Now what is the formula for calculation of volume of sphere? It is 4 over 3 pi r cube. So now we will use the values 4 over 3. What is the value of pi? It is 22 over 7. Now here what is r cube? What is the value of r? It is 3.5. We will write it 3 times. Now when we solve it, it will come as 179.67 cubic centimeter. Now this is the answer. Volume of the sphere is equal to 179.67 cubic centimeter. Now the question before us is, a capsule of medicine is in the shape of a sphere of diameter 3.5 millimeter. How much medicine in millimeter cube is needed to fill this capsule? So what has been given to us is, capsule is, this is the capsule is in the shape of sphere. Capsule is in the shape of sphere. What has been given to us is diameter. diameter of capsule is capsule or sphere? Because capsule is in the shape of sphere, so diameter of capsule or sphere is 3.5 millimeter. We know that the radius of capsule or sphere will be half of diameter. So here we will put the value of diameter and it will come as 1.75 millimeter. So now what we have to calculate is medicine needed to fill capsule. This is what we have to calculate. We know that the volume represents the amount of material required to fill a sphere. What volume represents? Volume represents the amount of material required to fill the sphere. Here the capsule is in the shape of a sphere. So here the material is medicine. So what is the quantity of medicine needed? It is will be equal to the volume of capsule or sphere. Now what is the formula for calculation of volume of sphere? It is 4 over 3 pi r cube. So here we will put in the relevant values. 4 over 3, what is the value of pi? It is a mathematical constant and represented by 22 over 7. What is the value of r? It is 1.7. Here r is cube. So we will write 1.75 3 times. So after solving all this, we will arrive at 22.458 cubic centimeter. Millimeter, cubic millimeter, because here the medicine is in millimeter, we will arrive in to 22.458 millimeter cube. This is the answer. This is the amount of medicine which is required to fill the capsule. Cubic millimeter. Now the question before us is 27 solid iron spheres, each of radius r and surface area s, are melted to form a sphere with surface area s dash. Find the radius r dash of the new sphere and ratio of s and s dash. Now in this picture you can see that these are the 27 solid spheres where radius is r and their surface area is s, and they have been melted and one big sphere has been formed with radius r dash and their surface area is s dash. So now we will calculate try to solve this question. Now when one shape is melted to form another shape, the volume remains the same. Whenever one shape is melted to form another shape, volume remains constant. So here the volume of 27 spheres of radius r is equal to volume of this sphere, which is big sphere, which has been formed. Volume of big sphere with radius r dash. So here what is the value of this volume of this sphere? This is formula is 4 over 3 pi r cube. Here the formula will be also same, 4 over 3 pi r cube. This is the formula. We will put in the relevant values. 4 over 3, 22 over 7 into what is the value of r in case of radius r? It is r. So we will use as it is 4 over 3, 22 over 7. What is the value of radius in case of big sphere? It is r dash power 3. So now this will be is equal to this. This is equal to this. So now what is balance is here, this is the volume of 27 spheres. So we have calculated it by 27 because 4 over 3 pi r cube is the value of volume of one sphere. As it is, these are 27 small spheres. So we will multiply it by 27. So what is left is 27 r cube is equal to r dash cube. So now what is r cube? R dash 3 r dash cube is equal to 27 r cube. So now what is r cube? R dash cube is equal to, we can write it as 3 into 3 into 3 or r into r into r, or we can also write it as 3r cube. So r dash will be equal to 3r, that is the radius of big sphere will be equal to the 3 times the radius of the small sphere. So now we will come further. Now what we have calculated so far is that the radius of big sphere, that is this one, is equal to three times the radius of original sphere. So now what is another question before us? This is first, we have calculated that r dash is equal to 3r. This is the first answer. Now what is we have to calculate? We have now to calculate ratio of s dash. It means that the surface area of sphere having radius r and the surface area of sphere with radius r. And what is s dash? It is the surface area of sphere with radius r dash. So now why we will put in the relevant values. What is the formula for calculation of surface area of sphere? It is 4 pi r square. 4 pi. Here the radius is r. Now here the radius is r dash. So it will now come as 4 pi r square. 4 pi. What is the value of r dash? It is 3r. 4 pi will be cut with 4 pi. So here it will come as 3r square. So now what is before us is this? It is 9r square. This is before us. So now in other words, we can say that r square, it is 1 over 9. That is, we can say that the ratio of s and s dash is 1:9. This is the answer. Now we will do recap. A sphere is a three-dimensional geometric object that is perfectly round and symmetrical. Any point on the surface of the sphere is at equal distance from the center. A sphere has a smooth and continuous surface with no edges and vertices. A sphere has only one face, which is curved. Surface area of the sphere is equal to 4 pi r square, and volume of the sphere refers to the amount of space occupied by the sphere in three-dimensional space, and volume of the sphere is calculated by the formula 4 over 3 pi r cube. If you like our video, please like, share and subscribe our channel. Thank you.